biggest outburst on court cam.
Like you don't, y'all
Mr.
you don't
Brooks.
know nothing about where I come from.
Mr. Brooks.
Push me, dog.
My kids for me and act like that? You in that, bitch.
What is your response to the request for a psychological evaluation?
Not doing it, and you cannot force me to do it. You cannot physically make me go and show up and partake in anything that I do not want to partake in. Yes or no?
We begin today's video in Waukesha County Courthouse, Waukesha, Wisconsin, where Darrell Brooks is being charged with 6 charges of intentional homicide, 1 count of recklessly endangering safety with a dangerous weapon, and a host of other charges. However, Mr. Brooks' nonchalant behavior steals the show in this courtroom spectacle. Mr. Brooks was involved in an argument with his girlfriend that culminated in him driving his mother's car and ramming it into a crowd of people during the Waukesha Christmas parade. He ended up killing 6 people and injuring over 60 people. He fled the scene on foot before he was caught in front of a stranger's house. When the police sat down to unravel the mystery of that fateful night, they were met with a shocking revelation. Darrell Brooks' demeanor was as icy as the case itself.
Tell me what happened. With the car. What am I being with your mom's car?
After claiming not to have remembered what happened that night and not cooperating with the police, he was eventually slammed with his charges, but he didn't go down without a fight, initially pleading not guilty on the grounds of mental defects before finally settling to plead not guilty. Finally, the trial makes it to court, and boy was it dramatic.
They observed that for about the past 40 minutes, Mr. Brooks appears to be asleep in the courtroom. I don't know if he's just being disrespectful, uninterested, or if he's not feeling well.
The courtroom saga takes an unexpected turn as Darrell Brooks begins his performance by catching some Z's right in the heart of the legal battleground. The prosecutor's disdain is palpable, deeming such a display as nothing short of disrespectful. But hold on to your hats, folks, because this isn't a case of personal health issues putting Mr. Brooks to sleep. Oh no, Mr. Brooks was about to outdo himself by being as outrageous as possible.
Got something to say too?
Mr. Brooks, the live stream is on.
I don't care about no live stream. Just like y'all don't care. All this political.
Mr.
You
Brooks,
sit
look
up
at
here and act like you know me. People like you don't, y'all
Mr.
you don't
Brooks.
know nothing about where I come from.
Mr. Brooks.
Don't push me, dog. Don't push back then.
Not only did he not show regard to the judge and the police officers on the ground, but he also made his lawyer's job a lot more complicated. Eventually, he ends up not having a lawyer for the trial.
I just want this to be fair, and it hasn't been fair. It's disrespectful to me that you think I would come in here purposely and treat this like a joke or a game. Your life is not on the line. Mine is.
The self-made attorney doesn't let up on his bad behavior even during trial. His behavior was so offensive to the judge that she had to move him to an adjacent courtroom to continue proceedings virtually. But he wasn't done.
We are back on the record.
As Brooks removed his clothes and turned his back to the camera. And later built himself a miniature fort using cardboard boxes.
After a barrage of annoying antics to probably get himself the worst sentence possible, it was time to hear what the jury's verdict was. He was found guilty on all charges, but there was still time for some impact statements from the victim's relatives, and as you might have guessed, Mr. Brooks was still defiant, unrepentant to the very end.
It offends me that you're sitting here breathing while she is not. You are a monster. You deserve contempt and death. As for me, this will never be over until the day I'm pissing on your grave. I think it would be fair to say that for your crimes, even God hates you.
Mr. Brooks, I hope as I read my statement, you continue to roll your eyes. I think it's important for the world to see what human rot looks like. Yeah, shake your head. There's nothing this court can do that would provide justice in my eyes. So all I ask is that you rot, and you rot slow.
With the drop of the judge's gavel, he was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole, and it's safe to say he had it coming. Our next destination is Dallas, Texas, where the heat of the legal battle is about to ignite. Our stage is set for a civil hearing like no other, featuring the tumultuous showdown between Amanda Stiles and her ex-husband, Ryan Parnell, as they grapple for custody of their precious children. But hold on to your cowboy hats because this isn't your typical courtroom drama.
Good morning. How are you all?
Morning, how are you?
Morning. Custody evaluation was completed, and so we have filed a motion for drug screening and a motion for a psychological exam based upon that custody evaluation recommendations.
Blah, 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 blah.
Proceedings take place remotely, as both parties table the motions regarding the case, but Amanda seems to be playing by her own rulebook, appearing without an attorney, dressed inappropriately, and with an attitude that leaves much to be desired. Clearly, Ms. Stiles was in no shape to be in a court proceeding, as she seemed uninterested in what her ex-husband's attorney had to say. But this was just the beginning of a really topsy-turvy hearing.
Things get off to a rocky start.
You'll be able to respond in just a second. Ms. Kimball, you can go ahead and finish, and then Ms. Stiles, you'll have an opportunity to respond in just a minute.
We also had sent discovery out as laid out in our motion sometime back. We ultimately never got a response.
We got plenty of responses. Objection.
Hold on, wait a second. Ms. Stiles, you just need to object, and then let me know what your objection is. Don't yell at her.
Although Amanda didn't tell the court she'd be representing herself, she clearly doesn't understand how court proceedings work, which the judge quickly pointed out to her. But the judge was about to get a taste of her disruptive behavior.
You have an objection to taking a drug test?
I use marijuana daily. All day, every day.
For context, marijuana is illegal in Texas, and she wasn't doing herself any favors by admitting to that in court. Does she not care about her kids? Why go through the rigors of a court case when she knows she has an attitude problem? While the judge tried to remain calm and civil, Ms. Stiles had other plans.
So I'm pretty low-key. We're in court. You need to be respectful. Just say Judge tonight. Okay? It's pretty easy. You use marijuana all day, every day.
Not really all day, every day, but I use it daily, if that helps you with your interpretations. Mr. Low-key Honorable Judge tonight.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Someone has to tell this cowgirl to slow down. At this rate, our low-key judge might be forced to take a sterner approach to the proceeding.
What is your response to the request for a psychological evaluation?
I'm not doing it, and you cannot force me to do it. You cannot physically make me go and show up and partake in anything that I do not want to partake in. Yes or no? Do you agree or not agree?
You don't get to ask me questions right now. I'm gonna sanction you $100 for every time that you swear in court, because that's not appropriate. You just need to not do it.
And so he did. Just when we thought a fine would be a sufficient deterrent, she does this.
Give me $100 fee. Woo, woo.
So I am finding you in direct contempt.
Okay, one fine.
Finding you $100.
Okay, make it 2.
You don't get to do this for your own pocketbook. I'm muting you for...
At this point, one thing is crystal clear. Ms. Stiles has no regard for the court, the proceeding, and probably the custody of her children.
Which of those dates works better for you, Ms. Stiles?
What time, dumb? 3 contempts.
You're correct, that is 3.
From here, it was a downward spiral. By the end of the hearing, Amanda Stiles was held in contempt of court and fined a total of $400. And as you might have guessed, she lost the child custody case, relinquishing her rights to the child and visitation. Next up, we're at trial, involving Mr. McCarty about the custody of his child. He was involved in a legal tussle with the state and was on the brink of losing his children to foster care and maybe losing his freedom for a couple of years. So you bet he's going to be feisty, and fight he does, with every ounce of ferocity and determination.
Back on the record, Mr. McCarty, President. He's under oath from the start of the trial.
No, I'm not. I'm not under oath.
All right, raise your right hand. I'm going to swear you in.
Front the jump, he makes the judge know through his actions that he was being unconstitutionally treated during the trial. But while he goes blabbing on about how the judge and the system is hell-bent on taking his kid from him, the current judge, Judge Matt Foxman, wasn't involved in the trial that saw the state take his kids.
That's your bad finger. I didn't appreciate that.
Still going to threaten me like you did the other day?
Threaten you to participate in your...
No, you threatened my life the other day. You won't allow my paperwork. Y'all took all my court paperwork.
We haven't started the trial yet.
It doesn't matter. You still deny it.
So why was he getting irate for no reason? Or was it a sign of some underlying mental issues? We await his next move as he continues down the path of defiance.
You want to take my kids from me and act like that? You and that bitch. You and the bitch that took my kids.
Despite Judge Foxman's best efforts to maintain calm and reason in the face of Mr. McCarty's relentless barrage, it quickly becomes apparent that McCarty isn't about to back down anytime soon. His words slice through the air like a blade, each laced with bitterness and defiance, as he hurls insults and cuss words at the judge. But as we've seen so far in today's video, playing the role of defiant defendant rarely ends well.
Holly, make sure you take down what I said. He was sworn in.
No, I was not sworn in.
Yes.
I've never been sworn in this court. Bring the camera back. He's making this up.
You want to be in the room or not?
Do you want to?
I prefer not to, sir.
Well, you got a mouth for it. Can I get some more, please? I got a lot more cussing to do, and I need to drug wet now.
Well, he wasn't given the water he asked for. He got a date for the next trial and sentencing, and the odds of that being favorable, well, let's just say it's pretty bleak. We've seen defendants go over the top with outbursts that basically put the nail in their coffins, but here, the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, Detroit, Michigan, we're in for a shocking treat.
There's a lot of things that you can do, and your life doesn't have to be over because of a poor choice. You just have to accept responsibility for it and find a way to make something positive out of a very negative situation.
The court is in session for the sentencing of 25-year-old Amanda Castle. Having been found guilty of driving under the influence, leading to the death of a man and seriously injuring a partner who have 5 children together, it was time to hear the impact statement from the children, read by their aunt.
Amanda, look what you did to my life. You ruined everything I had, like my dad's life.
As she gave the impact statement, a disheartening sound permeated the courtroom, a chilling chorus of snickers emanating from the area where the defendant's family sat. In a swift and decisive move, the judge intervened, sending the source of the disruption out of the court. To everyone's shock, it was none other than Amanda's own mother. But the drama had just begun.
You can go too. Whoever can sit here at a tragic moment like this and laugh and smile when somebody has lost a family member, this is a court of law. You cannot come down to the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice and act any way you want to act. Ma'am, you are being taken into custody for criminal contempt. Your disruptive and disrespectful behavior disrupted today's proceedings, and you, ma'am, are going to the Wayne County Jail for 93 days for direct criminal contempt. It'll be the sentence of this court that you will serve 3 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. If there's nothing further, that concludes this matter.
Amanda's mother, sentenced to 93 days for direct criminal contempt, is led to the county jail as Amanda begins her 3 to 15-year sentence. Now, the spotlight turns to her mother's day in court, marking another chapter in their family's tumultuous journey. In a surprise turn of events, a single night in jail works wonders on Amanda's mother, prompting a profound shift in her attitude.
Ms. Carson, is there something you'd like to say?
Yes, I deeply apologize for what I did. I was under a lot of stress. And I deeply apologize for what I did in your court. I just needed to get out. It's been very hard for me this year, and I know for the other family. And I'm so sorry for what I did. And I know it was wrong, and I apologize.
Faced with the gravity of her insensitive actions, she experiences a moment of clarity and genuine remorse. She eventually spends just 1 day in jail after a revised sentence. Meanwhile, Amanda serves 3 years behind bars before being released on parole. With a newfound perspective and a second chance at life, we don't know what the future holds for Amanda, but one thing remains clear. Both mother and daughter have been profoundly changed by their experiences and will make better decisions. There you have it, folks. That's our pick for the week. Which one did you find the most bizarre? Be sure to let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.